Hello everyone, my name is Mike, in case someone listening to this. True, to be honest with you, last couple of posts haven't gone so quite well. I think algorithm definitely hates me, and there is no much of sentiment, or let's say there's not much of encouragement for me to continue improving on my quality, let's say for the microphone and stuff, so that's it basically. But in this game, actually, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna keep on enjoying playing the games and occasionally recording games. Though I might transfer my account, actually not just the account, but the whole YouTube stuff regarding that thing, to a new YouTube, new channel, new things, and maybe new name, of course. I'll be keeping this old one as a reminder, and I'll be continuing onward with multi-gaming stuff. Not gonna tie down to one game and just stick to it like I did with War Thunder or with Full Tanks. And in this game, we're gonna have fun, actually, and I'm gonna keep playing War Thunder just for that, to have some fun. And now I'm going with my Red Tail Mustang, the first very agile Mustang, and very good Mustang actually, I must admit. This version of the Mustang in this game, along with the H version, is pretty competitive, and I like it for its battle rating. Of course, it's not of the overpowered machines in War Thunder, and I think it has a proper RB compared to the latest patch and their RB changes that are gonna go nuclear level bad for Gaijin and War Thunder. I'm thinking about the top tier stuff going down, and the game itself and the matchmaker being compressed. And that's pretty bad if you have a machine that's overpowering others and breaking the meta, of course. And you shouldn't compress, you should go and divide with better that thing, and using AI purely for that kind of balancing, it's a recipe for disaster. And the enemy has done a recipe for disaster as well. They are target focusing on a couple of planes that are on the lower deck, and all of them are being pretty easy targets for me. And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna have some fun with them. As you can see, the enemies that can turn me down there are, I think, Yak 9. So basically, the enemy that can outturn my aircraft, is gonna be my primary target. If you go on the dive, of course. And that's why I always say, climb, get the altitude above your enemy, and use that against them. I only have a couple of 1200 bullets in my machine guns, so I'm gonna have to spare my ammo. I cannot afford to waste it. I need to properly aim and go for the incendiary stuff on the enemies. So if I get the enemy, I need to make sure that I got him on set ablaze. For example, this F4 F6 F is gonna go a bit on the climb and gonna go a bit AFK. So I'm gonna, as you can see over here, I'm gonna approach and carefully aim my bullets and set him off ablaze. And that's one enemy down. Essentially, that's how you're gonna start. Now I'm gonna check it out. The Yak 9 is not the threat anymore. There is the enemy Firebrand. He has some guys on him, and it's basically, well, easy prey for me and the others. So I'm gonna try to at least get the assistance on him, but I managed to pilot the sniping, and that's another kill. The Ak-9T is still flying somehow, and I'm gonna just finish him off because I'm on the top on my speed, and the enemy Ak-9T can be the additional kill for me. And I just lead the target a bit forward, and that's it. That's my number 3. Of course, this is already a start, and I already nailed 3 enemy aircraft. And I make it look easy. Actually, they made it easy for me by diving down and being easy targets. If they kept on climbing or silent climbing, they would be a nasty opponents because they could easily use their position and prove a bit tough to kill. Now we have someone who did that, fortunately for them, and that's a Typhoon, and he's gonna be a tough customer, believe it or not. As you can see, I'm trying to dodge him now, right now, because he has a couple of 20mm, and if they hit me, they're gonna do some serious damage to me. Luckily, I managed to evade those shots, and Typhoon is gonna go for something else. Now, if you are in the Typhoon, I don't recommend just zoom climbing like that. I do recommend that you keep on your speed and do some create some distance between you and the guy chasing you, because at this moment I can easily go on him. As you can see, I'm trying to spray a bit to make him not approach my allies over there, but that guy is definitely good, and that's the thing, that's the premium Typhoon. So what I'm gonna do is, I know I have a slight disadvantage when going against the Typhoon in speed, but if I manage to close the distance and try to get him to turn a bit, I can get him then. As you can see right here, I'm trying to go after him. Now, I'm not zoom climbing because he can easily counter that, and I'm keeping the eye on my speed. I had to run through 200 kilometers. I think I can get him, but as you can see, my aiming is not one of the best. Now I'm missing shots that I shouldn't have missed. As you can see, the enemy Typhoon is not reacting much because I'm not being a crack shot, and my ally in that J2M is gonna get shot down, and unfortunately he's gonna go, yeah, a head-on. I don't like recommending head-ons, as I said before. I do recommend, if you want to go for a head-on, you feint it, especially if you are flying a Japanese aircraft. And you have now the Typhoon making a mistake, and I'm not gonna push my turn a bit, because if I push it too much I will risk losing a lot of airspeed, and I'm just slightly moving my aircraft, trying to keep myself on that enemy tail, and if I can get him a bit, do some damage on him. And now he is doing pretty well, to be honest. Until this point I finally managed to nail him, but 50 cals and 4 of them are not doing much of a damage. If you don't incinerate your opponent or set it ablaze, you're gonna have some problems with dealing against them. And I don't wanna press my advantage too much until I'm close, and of course I'm down to, unfortunately, a bit too late. Yeah, sorry. As you can see there, the enemy managed to shut down my ally, and I was a bit too late to save him. Luckily for me, that's the 4th kill, and I'm gonna go and repair right now because I'm already close to the airfield as well. So, two enemies above us, and they are gonna try to bomb us, I think. So I'm pretty skeptical about going straight on the repair base. But luckily, there is one more airfield behind me. Not the airfield, actually. The, how do you call it? The base itself that was destroyed just now. And as you can see, one enemy bomber is there. So this is gonna be a very risky situation that I have to do, and I'm gonna try to repair here. As you can see, I pulled my aircraft a bit too fast on the brake, and I managed to brake with my with my engine going. That's not pretty nice to see, but I never claimed to be a pro. There are a couple of the enemies around there, and they're gonna bomb us sooner or later. So this is gonna be one of the, can you repair quickly enough and take off quickly enough before you're getting shut down. And I'm not trying to warn the guy, the J2M, that the bomber is gonna go for the airbase, and he shouldn't be next to the runway itself, but let's say if you can drive it near the hangars over here. So the enemy bomber will go and bomb the strip itself, but you won't be damaged if you're on there somewhere. That's the suggestion that I can provide, and if the bomber doesn't see you, all the better, because they will just focus on the main airstrip itself due to the targeting sites. And now I have to climb a bit because what we have against us are 2 bombers that's left for the enemy team. And as you can see, I'm not gonna go head on. I'm gonna try go a bit in front of him, because then only one enemy gunner can fire at us. And if the only one enemy gunner can fire at us, that means 3 of them actually cannot fire at us. And with the Mustang, when you have 4 50mm guns, you cannot 50mm caliber of machine guns, not 50mm as a tank gun, you know. 50 cals. If you have only 450 cals, you cannot do much of a damage, but you have to rely on your ammunition to do this work for you, because you need to set it ablaze and after that finish it off. And for now we have 2 enemy bombers left. Now I'm trying to look where the other bomber is, because I'm thinking is he on the runway or is he not. I cannot approach too much on the runway, because if I go a bit closer than this, I might get shot down. Because the enemy runway AAA is overpowered. You need to be at Mach 1 to have even some slight chance to go unscathed. And we have there two bombers. You can see one dot, and there is a second dot. Basically, not just a dot. There's a silhouette, full silhouette in front of us. And here's the dot of the enemy bomber number two. Now we have to climb a bit, and this is gonna be tricky. Trust me, this is gonna be very, very tricky. I'm trying to go in front of him. As you can see, I'm zooming in and out to try to guess the distance where the enemy is looking at, especially his gunners, and I'm trying not to fool his gunners a bit, because he's gonna go manually aim for them. Yeah, as you can see there, he's gonna go for the manual. And he almost got me, by the way. He almost got me. Because over here now, the replay is showing that my engine is red. Actually, my engine is red, but it's not critically damaged. This is the bit of a glitch in the replay, and as I said before, the replay is not one of the priorities for Gadget in the moment, and they are not fixing all the info for it. So disregard this. My engine is still pumping out at least 70% of its power, and as you can see, I damaged the enemy bomber a bit, and he's going down, but he's still under control of his aircraft, as you can see right there. I think I only did slight light damage, but as you know, the damage indicator in the replay is not accurate as in real game. And as I said, I don't record real games because I tend to stress a bit more when I'm doing that. And there's the enemy 264. Gonna try to go for a blazing shot, and I managed to get him, actually, not just for the fire on his aircraft, but also the enemy pilot, and that's good. And what we have in front of us is that BV is going against the J2M, but the J2M is a Japanese aircraft, and he's already smoking. That means he already took some damage, and he's risking what he can to do damage he can to the enemy bomber, because he might already give up. And as you can see right here, I'm in a very good position to intercept this bomber, because a lot of his gunners won't be able to go at me. And I'm trying to get him now, right now, and those 40 cals are definitely showing their weaknesses. And for now, this float plane will power the thing a bit. He's really a tough nut to crack, trust me, especially if you have the screw maxed out. And I'm trying to get some shots on him, as you can see right now, and I managed to hit the fuel tanks. And now try to evade the rest of the machine guns and to evade the, well, certain destruction if he gets me. And the enemy bomber is gonna go down, definitely, and that's my 6th kill for the game. And I have to admit, I'm finding this aircraft to be enjoying to play. And it's not one of the terrible ones that you need to worry about. That's good stuff to know. But as you can see, I needed to add some additional fire. I used my ally to split the attention from the enemy to him. And I took some damage, of course, because the enemy bomber is pretty tough to crack, and you know, that's how it goes. Luckily for me, I lost my engine almost to zero this time, and well, luckily for me, I'm here. Basically, I can glide if I want to. The engine is now, I think, down to less than 50% of strength. Plus, I'm leaking fuel and all over the place, but yeah, game is over. That's it, basically. And I want to say thank you for watching, and drop a like if you want. Tell me if you at least saw the channel or noticed anything that I need to pay attention to. Narration, quality of the games, and all the things that you noticed. And to those who stick by me till this point, thank you very much. See you again. Stay safe.